What do you say these characters have in common? It's likely that you may have mentioned their similar color palettes, but each of them have so many other attributes that tie them together that we as an audience instantly associate with. Welcome to Colories, a character breakdown. In this series, we will be taking a look at some of the most iconic and colorful characters and breaking them down. During our first episode, we will be looking at my favorite color, pink. Don't forget to like and subscribe for color-based character breakdowns. Now, before we get into some of the most iconic pink characters, we need to talk about history. The history of pink goes back incredibly far. Before humans, before even dinosaurs. Dr. Nerganelli, a researcher who specializes in paleobiogeochemistry, was able to answer exactly how far this color goes. Thanks to her research on ancient cyanobacteria, we were able to learn that hot pink might be the oldest biologically generated color discovered. During her research, Dr. Ganelli discovered rare ancient pigments. Here's what she had to say.
The bright pink pigments are the molecular fossils of chlorophyll that were produced by ancient photosynthetic organisms inhabiting an ancient ocean that has long since vanished.
But the story of pink doesn't end just there. Let's skip ahead a couple billion years. In the 18th century, upper-class Europe was importing precious dyes from Central Asia and South America. Those who could afford it used it as a symbol of status and wealth, as the process to acquire these dyes was quite expensive. As we continue to move forward in time and into the Industrial Revolution, we can see how it has exponentially increased the production of textiles. The mass production of such fabrics gave a bit more freedom to people when it came to wearing different styles. During the late 40s, early 50s, we started associating pink with girlhood and all things feminine. While some may suggest Hitler and his now reclaimed pink triangles were the reason pink began to be associated with femininity, the exact origin of this association can be attributed to a wide array of historical factors. Which brings us to our next segment, psychology. So, why do we associate pink with girlhood? The color has come to signify many different things, though it most famously has come to be associated with femininity. But it also symbolizes soft, pure romance. The theory behind pink is that the color red is fiery and passionate, whereas pink has a touch of white to soften it out, making it more romantic. In many spiritual practices, pink has similar meanings. Practitioners of modern-day magic may use pink candles or pink rose petals to attract romance. Or they may use rose quartz. No, not that rose quartz. They may use rose quartz to attract things such as love, healing, the deepening of relationships, or to connect to your heart chakra. So, how does all of this apply to us as artists and creators? Let's break down some characters. Minor spoiler warning for the following. Princess Bonnibel Bubblegum is the autocratic ruler of the Candy Kingdom in the animated show Adventure Time. Much like her namesake, her pink hue is attributed to her being composed purely of chewing gum. Overall, she highlights many of the red parts in the color pink. But contrary to her design, she is anything but easily malleable. In this show, we see her exhibit an array of attributes, such as motherly, authoritative, overprotective. We see her exhibit these matriarchal elements all throughout the series. But we see her maternal side when she creates life and goes through great lengths to protect her people. We also see her overprotective side when she uses her power as ruler to spy on her people in hopes of protecting them. Princess Bubblegum also displays a vital element of the color pink, which is love and romance. One of the most notable times that we see this is when it is revealed that she holds onto the precious memories of her relationship with Marceline. Princess Bubblegum has grown to be an incredibly polarizing character within the fandom thanks to her vast depth and complexity, which is why I've chosen to talk about her here. Now, our next character is Madoka Kaname, the titular character from the anime Fuelamagi Madoka Magica. She highlights the white composition in the color pink, and this was even done intentionally. It was actually revealed that the writer of the series, Gen Urobuchi, intended for her color to be white, Umeaoki, the artist who designed Madoka, forgot this and ended up making her pink. However, many of those attributes still reside within her. Overall, Madoka presents a pure innocence, willingness to help, and desire to have meaning, all elements that can be associated with a softer pink as well as the color white. We see her purity throughout the series, contrast her opposite, Homura. Madoka portrays her willingness to help early on when she discovers Kyubei being attacked by Homura. She also is willing to put herself in harm's way to protect her friends. Her soft pink attribute and blend with angelic white is embodied perfectly with her celestial love motif and willingness to let go of the material from an earnest place. And that's why so many love her. Evil takes a human form in Regina George. How do I even begin to describe Regina George? Regina embodies the hotness in pink and its strong feminine energy. Her version of pink encompasses the iconic bimbo stereotypes while still incorporating fiery power dynamics. The film, after all, is called Mean Girls, and Regina George is Queen Bee. Unlike the other two characters mentioned before, Regina George is not covered in pink at all times. The filmmakers established her pink motif incredibly early on, both with marketing as well as with the iconic line,
"On Wednesdays, we wear pink."
Regina George has been portrayed by many iconic actresses, most notably Rachel McAdams, Taylor Lautner, and Renee Rapp. So, how can we signify the essence of Regina throughout each of these actresses? While Regina embodies the essence of strong hyper-feminine pink, many of the other girls also use similar color palettes. Regina George represents a version of the pink that is unattainable, the perfect version of womanhood. She is the Barbie of North Shore High. I mean, after all, that's why they're called the Plastics. The depiction of Regina George came at a time when pink was still being seen as a soft, frail color, but it was pioneers like her, as well as Paris Hilton and the McBling fashion movement that helped solidify pink as a personality trait in the early 2000s. Pink has evolved and grown to be a well-loved color amongst our cultural landscape. While each of the characters mentioned all have that colorful trait in common, they also have many other elements in common as well. We are able to access those traits more easily, however, through the use of said color. I hope this was able to help you connect and have a better understanding of the color pink and these characters. Stay colorful.